Hey gang, today I'm going to show you guys how to plot multiple sets of data on one graph. In order to do this, we're going to use an online tool called Plotly, which you can find a link to in the WebAssign assignment for the Hallway Carts lab. The first thing I want to do is I want to open up the Excel or the Google Sheet that has all of my class data on it and make sure we are selecting your appropriate class when accessing the data. What we want to do is we want to first select all of the data that we want to graph. So I'm going to highlight all of the data, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the data. I am then going to go to the link that is Plotly, which you can once again find on the WebAssign assignment, and I'm going to go to the Create tab at the top, and I'm going to click on Chart. Once I click on Chart, it's going to give me my interface. There are a bunch of options over here that I could play around with in my graph. This screen right here is the actual graph that we are going to create. I can drag this down to give myself a little more space if I want to. And this is going to be where the data table is entered. So when you're entering the data into the table, just click on the top left cell and then hit Control V to paste all of your data into your data table. So now that all my data is there, all I want to do is I want to graph the data now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we're in this create setting. I'm going to click on the x-axis. It's a position versus time graph. So on the x-axis I want the time data. Now we're going to plot all of these sets of data, but we're going to go one table at a time. So for the first data table, the time is found in A, column A, so I'm going to click on column A. The position data is in column B, so I'm going to click on column B. And there you have it. That is my first graph. I am going to then enter an additional graph. And this time, instead of using the data that you see here, we're going to now use the data that we see in column D and E. So once again, the time is in D and the position is in column E. Okay, moving on to our next column. We're just going to do the same thing. And you go on and on until you have all of your data plotted. I'm just going to stop at 2 of these. To make things a little bit easier for me when I'm analyzing this, I could also rename each of these plotted points. So what I have plotted at B, if I click over here on the graph, I could change B to what was cart 1. I'm going to change E to cart 2. And I'm going to change H to cart 3. Make sure the cart numbers that you are assigning match up what you had in the original data table. So now I have my position versus time graph set for 3 of my graphs that I carted, and you'll notice that it is color coded. If you want to change the title, make sure you do change the title to the appropriate title by clicking on the title bar at the top, and also make sure you are changing your axis labels on the bottom and left hand side so that it has the proper items listed on the labels. The last thing that we want to do is we want to do an analysis of this data. So what we're going to do for the analysis is we're going to get a line of best fit. For this lab, you should be getting a line of best fit for the 3 carts that did not have a delay. So the 3 carts that were in static equilibrium the entire time. Let me show you how you get the line of best fit. If I click on analysis, I'm going to scroll down to the curve fitting option. When I click on curve fitting, it's going to give me the chart type. I'm going to do my first fit for cart number 1. Notice it is mostly linear, so I am going to select a linear fit and I'm going to click run. Once I do so, you'll notice that I get the appropriate line of best fit for that cart. If I want to collapse that menu, because it's a lot to look at, I could press this button. And if I want to do an analysis for another cart, I just click analysis once again, curve fitting, and I'm going to make sure I go to my second chart, my second cart at this point. Once I hit run, you'll notice that I get my linear fit for my second cart plotted. And that's about it.